morning to you. How's everybody this morning? I hope you have had a fantastic weekend and everybody it's Monday, isn't it? It comes around every single week. I'm really looking forward to this one myself as well. I love these icicles and I love the miracle beads in all sorts of sizes and shapes. Miracle beads is one of my favorite beads to work with. Right, let me just have a look at very quickly your comments and catch up with you, and we're going to get started. I'm going to turn you down and we're going to make one of these icicles. You can see it behind me on the tree. I love this tree we usually have at work, and this year I bought it home because obviously I had the TV show last week, so we needed some like a nice Christmas decoration behind me. But I think I'm going to keep this tree here, so I'm going to have to get another one for work. It's 6 foot tall, so it's quite tall, but it's quite narrow, so it fits behind me just quite nicely. Oh, Joyce saying good morning, Margaret. Love your jumper. Yeah, I love it too. We popped up to the high street on Saturday morning with Simon, and I got a couple of Christmas jumpers. I'm not really, I have to say to you, I'm not really, or haven't been a Christmas jumper fan. So I haven't. My first ever Christmas jumper I bought 2 years ago, I think, and it said Christmas chick on the front of it. I just thought, like, we were going out for a Christmas party and I needed one because it was like everybody has to wear a Christmas jumper. But it's went into the wash, and then I somehow got into the dryer, and my jumper, which is was this size, is sort of shrunk down to very, very small size. So then Lucy inherited the jumper from me, and last year I bought a couple, and actually I did really enjoy them. So this year I bought another couple as well. This is one of them. I think it's just a bit of fun, isn't it? Just to give you a little bit of smile on your face when you see it. I do love Christmas, so I think when I was little, Christmas jumper, it wasn't kind of a thing, so we never really, you just wore your Sunday best, I guess. Good morning, Alison. Jenny saying, cool this morning, just put the heating back on. Where are you, Jenny? We had the heating on for at least 2 or 3 months now. But what part of the world are you watching from, my lovely? Good morning, Francis. Oh, Linda's saying, your tree looks great. Oh, thank you, Linda. Everything is made on it. So there is in the store-bought decoration on it, everything which is on that tree I made. I'll show you just in a sec what are there. Good morning, Amelia, Jean, Margaret, Pamela, Mina, Sheila. Joe is saying it's freezing today. I think it's freezing here as well. I had to pop out to the garage to the this morning to get some, just very quickly bake some sausage rolls for Christopher and Lucy to take to school. Oh, and it was very cold. So I think we got a cold about a snap here. It's quite we got a lot of fog as well outside. I'm just looking outside, so I can see a bit of sun behind the fog, but it is very foggy. Good morning, Margaret, Debbie, Angela, Nat, Sharon, Annie, Jen, Amelia, Elaine, Smoffy, Camille, Sylvia, Diane. Oh, very damp in Swindon, Diane is saying. Cold in Glasgow. I love this weather updates. Morning, Sue, Elaine, Lucy, Gitty, Dee, Sharon. Oh, right. Let's just cold in Swansea. Christine is saying. Morning, Jenny, Alison. Good morning, Gwen, Susan, Cheryl, Carol. Carol's asking, can you put the link for the tuberose selling chenille bracelet so I can add to my order? Thank you. I'll get Molly on that. Molly's in the background. She's having a look and she's going to put it up. So the chenille bracelet, which is a bundle on the website, that is for the workshop itself, and you have to buy the workshop separately, so that's to go alongside the workshop. Molly, can you put the link for the Bead Club as well, please? That's going to be the 17th and 18th of December, sort of right before Christmas. That's the last session this year for the Bead Club, and we're going to be having so much fun. That's one of Sarah's. She's been working on this little bracelet for quite a few months, but we didn't have the beads in, so we couldn't do it earlier. Gillian is saying cold in North London. You know, it's cold here as well. Good morning, Molly. Everybody's saying good morning, Molly. Annie's saying good morning, Kitty. I have just received my 12 days of Christmas kit and it looks great. Can't wait to start. Oh, I can't wait either as well. I'm actually doing some filming for that this afternoon for some of the projects and do bits of pieces. So it's really, really exciting. And actually, I do need to tell you about the 12 days of Christmas. So you saw that not last weekend, the weekend before, and all the stock what we made up for it like all went, and then we asked people to go on the page and just put your email in, and Simon then can see if he can make more kits up or not, because it's not about not having materials. We got plenty of materials in the warehouse. It's about having the time for the guys to sort of sit down and pack everything out, because one of those 12 days of Christmas will take somebody 2 or 3 hours to make, because they have to package up every single kit. There's 12 kits in that bundle, so they have to package out and measure out every single kit separately to be able to put it together. So Simon has said that we put a few more together, and it's back in stock on the website, but there isn't many left again. So I think it's today or tomorrow. I think it's gonna sell out. So if you did wanted one and you missed that the first time, do go and check it out, because I don't think the stock what he allocated that we can make up, because he wants to ship it out at the sort of Thursday, Friday this week, that they won't be able to make any more up, because there is no more time in a day. I mean, can you imagine? I would love to have an extra I'd love to have extra 24 hours in each day, but that's it. Susan is saying she's got her 12 days of Christmas. It looks fabulous. Mina is saying she ordered a 12 days of Christmas for herself as a Christmas treat. For that's all about it, is Mina, and that's why we did it. We didn't want to do a Christmas calendar counting down to Christmas. What we wanted to do, we want to have after Christmas, because he's so busy running up to Christmas. I barely have time to sort of organize the house and clean the house and decorate and do my crafts and do things for myself. But with the 12 days of Christmas, we're going to start on Christmas Day, and every single day we're going to be making something together in the mornings at 10 o'clock. And he's saying, sorry, I'm late. You're not late at all. We just started. And just, you do have to buy the Christmas tree pattern. The Christmas tree is available to buy on the website. I'll get Molly to pop the link up for you do as well. I did an extra long live on Saturday for this. We can get you the link as well, because you can purchase it for $1.99 and watch it from beginning to the end, the whole video, or you can have download the PDFs, and I think that is for the whole tree is $4.99. But it depends. If you're more visual, then just go with the video itself. Nat is saying she can't wait until her ones arrive. That's 12 days of Christmas. Then is asking, do you have to need to have the kit, or we can use our own beads? Just you're saying about beads in stock. So if that you're asking about, that's for the bead club, that you can use whatever you have, but you're not gonna might not have the same effect. So it's bicon beads and size 11 seed beads for the bead club, but make sure that it's like the bicon beads are better quality ones as well. But I can talk to you that in the bead club on Thursday, because I'll be there and we can just chat and or pop a question into the group, and then I can answer that in the group in more depth. All I can see is Molly is adding links. Oh, Joy is showing, my husband bought me the 12 days of Christmas as he forgot my advent calendar. Oh, bless. I never get an advent calendar. I always buy everybody an advent calendar. I never get one. Actually, after tooting and hooting my hoot, or I don't really know what's the expression. Last year Simon did get me one, but that was the first in the 18 years soon we'll be married that he got me an advent calendar one. Right, let's get started. Oh, Jenny's saying, thank you for the Christmas tree workshop on Saturday. It was fab. I really enjoyed it as well, because usually on Saturdays I just sort of run around and do everything everywhere, and it was quite nice just to sit down and do. But let's get started, because I know it's a quick make, but it's 10 past 10 and I really want to get into the making. So all the icicles you see on the tree, and there is some more further to the top, and there's some more to the bottom as well. That is 2 packs of icicles. So 1 pack of icicle, 1 pack of icicle is, I'm just gonna turn you down. 1 pack of icicle is makes, and I'm gonna grab some from, let me just pop myself in the top here, and actually I'm gonna come in and zoom in a little bit. So 1 pack of icicle, why is it not adding? Oh, it's added right behind it. I just couldn't see myself. There I am. I'm going to pop myself in the top here. So 1 pack of icicle is going to make you 6 of the larger icicles, or it's going to make you 12 of the small ones. Now what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to do, well, I will put this in the window once our lounge gets sorted this week, because we had it decorated, and my office as well. Hopefully I'm moving back to my office this week. I really can't wait to put everything back together. I'm going to be putting them in a window just like that. So I'm going to put a small, large, small. So I'm going to be, so 1 pack we either make 6 large one or 12 small one, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to make 3 large ones and 6 small ones, and then they're just going to go into the window just like that. Now don't forget, because the way how we make it, and I'm going to bring this up, there's a loop at the top, but there's going to be a little loop at the bottom as well. So what you actually can do, you can have a large one, and then you can link it up and have a small one underneath it. So you could have if your window is quite tall, you could have quite a few of these decorations. And I'm just going to grab a few more off my tree, and you can add them sort of right underneath each other. You can have some more crystals. You can either connect them up with crystals, or you can connect them up with an invisible thread, or you can connect them up with a piece of sparkly ribbon, anything you like. Victor is saying, so love the jumpers. I think that's the hooting your hoot. Hooting your hoot? Tooting your hoot. I don't know. I sometimes I get these expressions, and I always say this is so English expressions, because I can never remember which way was it around. And Sarah was laughing at me in the summer really much, because I said something really, I think it was, instead of saying bee's knees, what's the expression? Is it bee's knees? Yeah. Oh, I said something else. And I usually say, is it cheap as chips? Yeah, that's not one. And I say something else as well for that one as well. I'll remember in a minute. But now, because I sort of, I was consciously thought about it, I said it right. Right, so you can make quite a lot of this one. Very simple and very easy. Now there's 2 wire in the kit. You got 0.8 and 0.6. Sorry, 0.4, 0.8 and 0.4. And then you get 10 strands of these lovely crystals. These are 3mm bicon crystals, and they just there to sparkle your makeup. Now you don't have to do the swirling around it. You can just have it like sort of plain, just the beads themselves. So when you get your kit, the first thing you need to do is to get your beads out, and I'm going to put them in order. So I'm just going to put them at the top here, and I'm gonna blowing your own trumpet. That's another one. Cheap as French fries. Now, so there's something I say, and Sarah was laughing at it so much, when I can't remember. I have to ask her, because I'll come up with all these different things, and then cheap as budgies or cheap as chips, something like that. I don't know. Never mind. Right. So what I did to get the crystal beads very quickly onto my wire, I actually used a just cut the end here. I used a bead spinner. So when we use bead spinners, usually we use it for seed beads. Like Sarah used them a lot to make her wire flowers and all sorts of different shape, the French beading. But something like this, It's gonna come on there like much slower than the seed beads would, because obviously they got a shape to them. But it's project like this as well, it's really handy to have one of the bead spinners. Now they got some little bead spinners on the website which they are $3.99. They really make the difference. This one is the wooden one, which is slightly bigger one, and you know, as you can see, very easily, I just need to make this go further down. Very easily you can spin on a lot of beads. Now you could pick them up one by one, and that's like absolutely fine as well. You don't have to have the bead spinner, but the bead spinner does make, and we always say with Sarah, things like this makes a hell of a difference when you are designing with it. There's all sorts of people hold it in a different way, but all it is, you turn your end of your wire into a little hook, and by just shaping it on its own, I just mold it around my finger, and then in it goes, just like that, and keep spinning it with one hand, and I'm just skimming the top with the wire, and all those lovely little crystals are coming on the top of it. And that's it, and let them go down. So that's sort of an easier way. Oh, that's a long link, Molly. This should take you to it. It's a very long link. I know. Come up. It could be toot your flute. Yeah, that's I think I heard that one. Can you thread them on by hand? If so, how many beads would you put on? Well, I would just keep threading on, and I would thread all of them on there. So even if I was doing my hand, I would get these out and just pop it down there, and then very quickly, quite easily, I would be picking them up as well. So you could either or way to do it. You don't have to have the spinner, you could be picking up the beads, but that is your preparation work there, that you need to pick up all the beads and put it on your 0.4mm wire. So at the end, when we make our icicle, we are very quickly can just sort of run around it, and we are ready to wrap it. So sometimes the preparation work, like here, adding on the crystals, will take you probably 2 or 3 times as long as actually making the icicle itself. Right, I think I got enough anyway to cover an icicle, so I'm going to pop this to the side, and we're going to start making the icicle. Right, so if you wanted to make the long one, which is, shall we make a long one or shall we make 2 short ones? Or shall we make a long one, and if you have time, you'll make a short one as well. So if you want to make the long one, then we will pick up your beads in a pattern from largest to smaller, or smaller just to largest, depending on which end you want to secure first. But if you want to make 2 smaller ones, then what I would do, I would take every other bead for my smaller one, so I still get that lovely effect, graduation down effect, the effect of an icicle in both sizes. So I'm not sort of jumping straight down from a large one to a small one, and then if you would have just, let me just pop these back, if you split it this way, and that you take the larger ones first and then you take the smaller one, you would end up one very thin icicle and one very fat icicle as well. So that's the but you can do whatever you want to do. It's your own design, obviously, so you can make any of the sizes you like. I'm just going to grab my pliers. That's it. Right, so you're going to need a round nose pliers, a chain nose pliers, and your cutters. Now this is the 0.8 wire now. I like to work off the reel because you can cut just approximately feet or over a feet for each icicle. However, a project like this, when I'm knowing I'm going to be making the same over and over and over again, what I'm going to do, I'm going to work off the spool, because then when it comes to cutting the wire, I'm going to be cutting exactly the right amount and there won't be any wastage at all. So I'm going to start by picking up the largest one. Because this is still on the spool, my beads are definitely not going to fall off either. And I'm just going to add all of those beads on there, graduating down in the sizes. I love the color of this miracle bead, and this is what when we had it on Create and Craft on Wednesday, Dean said, well, I have to clarify that they haven't got any batteries, those beads, or have they? Because however the light is hitting them, they like shine up. I love them. Right, so I'm just adding the last two. So each kit contains 6 sets of your beads, and each 6 set has 12 different sizes of miracle beads in there. Now at the bottom, we're gonna create a very small loop, because you don't need a large loop at the bottom. We just need it large enough to hold the beads so the beads are not going to go through, and just a little loop, so just in case if you want to link them up you can, but if you don't want to link them up, then they just sort of sit there at the bottom. They but if you do, you can link them up. You can change your mind next year and do a complete different display with them, and then you might want to link them up. What color are those beads? These are the white miracle beads. On the website we don't stock all the sizes separately, so I think the largest one you can get in white is 14 mil. So these larger sizes are only available in the Icicle, because they only bought enough stock to make the Icicle with it. Right, so I'm gonna hold this, and I don't want a very big loop, so sort of towards the middle, maybe a little bit down. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. And what we're going to do, you're going to fold this over, you're going to fold all the way around on itself until you create a letter, I don't know, P, the P we created here. Then I'm going to take my other chain nose pliers, and I'm going to grab the end of this and just fold it around it. Now if you find it hard to hold it this way and sort of come around and round and round, what you can do is to release this loop. Once you made that loop, release it and hold it in this direction, and then wrap the end around. Now you only want to do a couple of wraps. I sort of like to wrap it until the end disappears, or if I can, I wrap it all. Now before I go any further, I always do this, is to tuck the end in. I know here we're making decorations and it doesn't really matter because it's going to be hanging up, but I think it's just a really good practice. Can you see the end is just sticking out there? It's really good practice. Whenever you make a wrapped loop, then you go in with your chain nose or flat nose pliers and just flatten that down into the coil, so there's no scratchy ends on the side either. And then I'm going in and I'm going to straighten it up, so I got a nice straight end down. And just think, I was thinking of buying all the beads separately to make more the ideas out of the window. We only, sorry lovely, we only have them in the kit because we only had enough beads to do I don't know how many number of kits they made up, but to make the kits up. For next year, definitely gonna get them in separately, but hopefully if we can, but this year we only have them available in the kits. I was going to get pale blue, right, so if you, I did look, Diane, the pale blue as well, and hopefully for next year we can get pale blue in. Now I'm going to cut my end off the string, and I'm going to zoom out just a bit so you can see. So my icicle is about 6-7 inches here, and then I only need about 2 inches on the top because I want to create a larger loop here. So if I want to put ribbon through it, I can. could you coil instead? I find the wrap loop hard to do. So you could coil it, but a wrap loop is always a bit more secure. So I cut about 2.5 inches, about 7 centimeters here, and I'm gonna make larger on the top. I don't know what was the question, but Molly just dropped Kitty a message after the live and she can look into for you. So if you got any specific question about something else, just message me on Facebook and I will get back to you pretty much sort of quite straight away. So if you, what Lorna is saying, making a coil, and actually I need a bead for this, and I'll show you why a coil is not good or not as great. Doesn't matter actually what size, so I'm just going to use this. So if I made a coil on the end of this wire, if I picked up the right pliers, so making a coil, what you would do, you would just turn the end around and coil it until you get around. You can do 2 or 3 coils, just sort of turning around, and you would create a little coil like this. But if you're going to add this and you're going to string them up and sort of link them up, what can happen, as this bead is going to be pushing down on this, the coil can come out of shape, and it's not as secure as a wrap loop, because a wrap loop, when you're pulling it down, it's tightening on itself and the coil can come undone. I think I've done 3 coils here, so it's quite strong. But if I just did a couple, it would have definitely come undone. Oops, see, I just pulled it and it come undone. I did have to pull it with quite some force. I almost think I don't know what where the bead gone, but we'll find it later. Right, so better to do a wrap loop. Okay, I'm gonna make a larger wrap loop for here. So I'm really just gonna freeform this around my finger, bring this around. If you want, you can always wrap it around a pencil, wrap it around the base of your plier, anything you have in your sort of around, you just pick it up and you can work with. We're gonna form this loop anyway into a better shape once we finish. So I'm gonna do the same thing here at the top. I'm going to wrap it around. So this time, because it's a larger loop, I'm just holding on with my hands. But make sure as you're holding onto it, you don't let this, as it's twisting around, to twist together and the loop to become smaller. But if you have difficulty holding it with your hand, you can always go in and hold it with a pair of pliers as well. It's whatever is most comfortable for you and whatever is most comfortable for your hand. Just do another one. That's it. Just come all the way around. So I'm going to use again all of that end up, and all I'm doing now is just tucking the end in, making sure there is no scratchy ends there at all. Now to form your loop here at the top, to make it sort of a nice, I like to make it a nice flat shape, pop your pliers in there, chain nose, flat nose, round nose, and instead of, usually we push together with our pliers, but in this instant I'm gonna pull the ends apart, and when I'm pulling them apart, can you see how that's pulling the shape there into a nice little flat loop? And that's it, our little miracle bead icicle is ready. All is left to do to add the decoration on the top, and I'm going to go to the 4.4 millimeter wire here, and then I'm going to stick the end in just down to the last miracle bead at the top, and I'm going to start just sort of wrapping this around. Now I'm going to do maybe 10-12 little twirls, but the more you wrap it around, the more you're going to fill up this gap at the top. So I guess if you wrap it around until your hole disappears, let's look at it on the made up one, then you can't see the hole at the top because we covered it with our wrapping. Once you're happy with your wrapping at the top, then what you're going to do, you're going to take your crystals and you're going to pull them up on your 4 millimeter wire, Up you go. Now with one hand here, I'm gonna hold the wire with sort of my ring finger and little finger and my middle finger as well. With my thumb and index finger, I'm pushing the beads up as I'm wrapping. With my other hand, I'm just going to hold on to the end of it and I'm just going to wrap just like that. So I like to do sort of a wrap going across on the bead itself, and then when I get to the back, I wrap it between the beads, and then I'm going across and between the beads again for the next one. And then I need to pull up some more crystals, and again I'm pushing the crystals with these first two fingers so I haven't got any gaps, because if I don't do this, what happens as you wrap it around, you're gonna have the, let me just show you, as you wrap it around, see how the beads are traveling down, up and down, and you're gonna have gaps without the crystals. So it's really crucial to push those crystals up nice and tight again, so you have a nice and weave, and that's all it is. I'm just going to wrap it around, and when I get down to the bottom where my beads, the sizes between the beads getting smaller, I just sort of do every other one right at the bottom. I'm gonna take the crystals back and just wrap this end one a few times, pull it nice and tight, and I'm gonna trim the end and just tuck the end in. Straighten up the icicle, make sure the loops are sort of sitting in the same way all the way. Well, they can sit however you want to sit. You could come back with another one, you could add another loop onto the other side, but I just like it like this, that on one side we have, and I'm going to straighten up the top here as well so it sits nice and straight. And that's it. That's how easy it is to make a little icicle. I think I made all before the night before the show. I had on a Create and Craft on Tuesday night last week. I just started watching The Crown, and it took me about an episode. I couldn't finish 2 episodes to make the 2 packs up, so that's how quick. And most of that time was to pick up the crystals and spin the crystals on. So I reckon about 40 minutes you can make all 6 of them. So they're quite quick. We got still quite a lot of time, so let's make a smaller one as well quickly. So to give, I opened another pack again. I'm gonna put these sizes out just as they go down in size, and now I'm gonna separate these up into 2 groups because I want to make 2 smaller ones. So I'm gonna do every other one on one, the sort of 2nd, 4th, 6th, 8th, 10th and 12th size, and on the other one at the top I'm doing 1st, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th and 11th there. I'm gonna do exactly the same method again. I'm gonna take my 0.8 wire, and what you can actually do, you can I like to batch make things, and because I think that makes it even quicker. So because your wire comes on a spool, you can add, and that's what I'm going to do now, you can add as many icicles on there as many you want to make. So what I usually do is go ahead, sort my beads out, and then I'm string them on my wire. But once I strung one icicle on, I'll go ahead and string the next one right behind it and all the way down, and I would probably string on maybe 5 or 6 or as many icicles as I want to make. And then if I want to go and watch something on the TV, I've got all prepared. This one, all I need is my cutters and my round nose pliers, and then I go and start to make them. And I'm just going to do this very, very quickly. So I'm wrapping the loop down at the bottom, just bringing this all around, just like that, and making sure there is no scratch a bit at the end, just like tucking it right in. If you got too much at the end, then of course you can cut it off, making sure this loop at the end sits nice and straight. And then I'm gonna bring up the first set of icicles, cut this wire to the size I need to cut, and just pop it down on my mat. I can either finish this loop first, or I can just pop this on the side and do the next one. It's up to you how you want to do the icicle. For me, I always, because I haven't got so much time, I like to look for ways how I can make things quicker. This is it. Oh, you got caught. I'm gonna make sure this is nice and straight. Put the end in, pull the beads down. Joy's saying, I really hope you get the larger size beads in general stock and the teardrop ones. I have a nightmare trying to find them online. Quite possibly I will have to do a order very soon for miracle beads. So I just trim this one just over a couple of inches there, and then I'm going to make the loops on the top. I'm not sure when, because at the moment it's usually December for us is quite quiet, and we like tidy up the warehouse, and we do sort of like the admin side of the things, looking back on the year and seeing, like, you know, what we're going to do for next year. We also December is when we put orders in for the spring, but this year so far we're just so busy. I don't know, like usually I manage to have maybe a couple 2-3 days off before the kids break up from school, just to go out and buy Christmas presents. But this year I think I will be working up right up to the last day, which is the 21st of December for us on the warehouse. So this year has been a really busy year, and I'm just doing this second one. So yes, we will, because we use miracle beads in loads of different things. So do message me or text me if there's any particular sizes you want, because when we order, we will I can put things on the order. Do the kits include the wire? Yes, so the kits include 2 spools of wire. You get the 0.4 and you get the 0.8. Now I made, you have plenty of wire, because this 0.8 wire is into the second kit. So you have got plenty of wire there. 0.4 you got loads as well. Look, I still got loads on this one, and this was from the previous kit as well. And I made, this is the 3rd set I made with it. So I use this for demo on Create and Craft as well. And there's all that's left to do is to add those beads if you want to. If you don't want to, you can just leave it just like that. Question, can I order my Bead Club bracelet for next week? I can only find it on the Bead Club website. Angela, give me a message, or actually Diane said send me just a message and we will send you the link. Yeah, not a problem. Anytime if you need anything, just send me a message and we can send you the right link. I'd rather that you get into contact with me and I can get back to you really quickly, and then you will have the right answer as well. But you can ask in the group as well. Any of the members will be gladly to help you out. Well, and just let me go. Sure, if you get any question, just pop it in there. Lon is saying, thank you, Kitty. Just thought it might be easier for people that struggle with wrap loops, but better to wrap. So wrap loops on this, it doesn't have to be as pretty as wrap loops on your jewelry, because it's going to be hanging in a window, or it's going to be on your tree, it's going to be anywhere. Now the wire you use for this one is a 0.8 copper wire. So usually the hat pins, what you use, they brass or iron or other material. Copper wire is the most pliable wire, so it's really easy, very bendable, very great to work with. So if you are not sure about your wrap loops, this is the kit to get for you, because you will learn them with a softer wire to create them, and once you get to your jewelry making, they will be more uniform and you will be able to do it. There's no right or wrong way of doing it, how you're holding your pliers. And as you can see, when I'm making my loops, I even start like folding it over with my hand before I grab the wire. So I already done like a loop and a bit before I grab the plier and finish off the end. So it's up to you how you hold the pliers. You have to work out what's the best way for you. I will hold it completely different how Sarah's gonna hold it, because I guess we're all different and we prefer different things. Osim is saying hello. Judy's saying I ordered my kit. They are so beautiful. Huge thanks. Katrina is saying they're saying meant to get pale blue as well. Bought the kit. If that's for the miracle beads, lovely, do let me know. Nat is saying about the Christmas tree. Do message me, Nat, directly, and I'll get back to you on that one. Christmas jumper day this week, Victoria is saying. I hope so, because I own 4 Christmas jumpers now, so I need to wear them out. Otherwise, it's like you can't wear a Christmas jumper in June or July or March. It has to be December, isn't it? So they should be very well looked after, because they probably get like 2 or 3 wears out of the year of them, and then you have to pack it away until next Christmas. But now I've got 4, so I'm going to alternate it between now and Christmas to wear them all the time. Right, I'm just checking. You want any more? A nice mug of coffee for me? Yeah, my coffee is stone cold now. Actually, what I did, I have ordered myself one of those little, I think they got chili bottles. Lucy got me onto them, my little Lucy. It's like a cup what you can take around, and it keeps the coffee hot. So I'm going to be testing that tomorrow, because I end up drinking ice cold coffee all the time because I make the coffee, I put it down, I start making something, and half an hour later I'm picking the coffee up and it's like, oh, it's cold now. How do you know how many seed beads to put on the wire? So on the kit there is no seed beads. It's the crystals what we use, these 3mm crystals. I spun them on with a spinner to get them on really quickly. I would just add the whole lot onto my 0.4 wire, because as you start to wrapping them around, the mount you're going to be using is probably about twice as long as your icicle what you're making once you start wrapping around. I mean, you're making quite a few, you're going to need a lot of crystals there. Why not go down the thread the crystals are on? Yes, Diane, you could do that as well. So what Diane is asking, which we did before, when you hold up a string and just stick your wire and push it straight down, and you can get your crystals on the wire very quickly. However, with this one, the holes in the crystals are really small, so you won't be able to, the crystal doesn't fit the wire through at the same time if you got the monofilament on there. So you do have to take them off, unfortunately, and put them on. But that's a really good tip as well to do. Lorna's saying quality in York. Right, let me go down to the bottom. Would a bead cap be able to held at the top? You could put bead caps on the top. You could put crystals between if you like. You could really do your own design. You could put like little snowflake spaces. You could do, you know, so much stuff with it. It's just I'm sort of giving you the beads and the basic design, but where you take it, that is entirely it's up to you. Can the blue miracle beads make a small one? You know what, Diane, we'll have a look. What's the largest blue one, and what have you got in blue one in stock? We'll be in the warehouse on Wednesday, and if we can, then we could make. But it is going to be, I think the largest one is 14 mil in the blue one, so it's going to be quite a skinny icicle as well. And then we're gonna need to find some little blue crystals, or blue seed beads would do as well, I guess, size 8 or size 11 seed beads to do that swirl around it. But could be they're just gonna be a little bit thinner one. Travel mugs, yeah, that's the one, that's the word I was looking for, Mina. Mandy's saying great tutorial. Margaret saying, I can now dig out the beads I bought when I first saw you make this on CNC. Hope I can make them this time. So the icicles we only did on CNC last week. It was launched last week. I haven't had it on there before. Right, yes, I mean, I will catch up with the messages today. I had a bit of a day off yesterday, so well, I was tidying up and doing these things, but I will catch up all the messages on my Facebook page today. Right, my lovelies, that is me for me today. Very quickly, I can jump on the website and show you. This is the kit. You know where to go. Facebook tutorials. You're gonna go into the Beaded Icicle, which is today. There's only one kit there, $19.99 down to $7.99 today, and it makes 6 large ones or 12 small ones. What's on the picture there, that's a small one, so you can make 12 of those, but they are quite big because the largest bead is 25mm here and the smallest is 4mm. So you start off with a very large 25mm bead as well, going all the way down. Take care, Paula, as well, saying great demo. Thanks, Kitty. Take care and enjoy all the rest of your day, everyone. And thanks so much up there. Thank you so much to sort of showing up day after day and watching us making all nice and wonderful things using different techniques. Thank you, Lucy, as well. So tomorrow we are going to be, oh, Molly, can you just pass it? The reefs. So we had a bit of a change of plans. I said that, I think on Saturday, that we got some new beads in. And yesterday morning, I was sitting down and working out how to do a little reef. You can have two-sided, you can decorate it as much as you can make it more plainer. This one is one-sided, but what we got Christmas bead pack, the acrylic beads, and it's gonna be a huge pack. So there is 5 different, let me just bring it closer, there is 5 different sizes of each one of these acrylic beads, and I really wanted to do this with acrylic beads because if I did this with glass bead, this one would be really heavy and really pull down my my Christmas tree. So we're gonna making little reef decorations. Now this one doesn't have to be on the Christmas tree. Again, you can put it on the doorknobs, you can put it all around your house. You don't have to have the loop on there. You can have it flat on a table. You can put it anywhere. So we are going to be doing this tomorrow, and in the bundle what we put together for you, again, we won't have the beads separately. We're only going to have them in the bundle because we only bought enough to sort of each size, because otherwise if one size goes out of stock, you won't be able to make the reef with it anymore. And not long I'm going to be making something with this tomorrow. Sarah Payne is on it and she's making some other bits and pieces with it as well. So you're going to be sort of a double whammy, but look out for this tomorrow because they are really, really exciting. I love a little bit of reef, and it's only red and green beads. We didn't add anything else or more to it. It's only red and green beads, and just a really nice one to make the reef. Brenda say I like them. I like them as well. I was sitting here and I'm working it out and doing all sorts of different bits. So this one, which is double-sided, I made more of a plainer side, and on the other side I added an extra beads around it so I can have a more of a decoration as well. It could go around the bottom of a thin candle. Yes, it could. The only thing you have to be careful, you can't build it up too much, because don't forget these are acrylic beads, so they're really, really lighting by it, but then they can melt as well. Thank you, Kitty and Molly. Enjoy the rest of the year. Thank you, Jean, you to my lovely everybody, Linda, Janet, Margaret, Sheila, and everybody else. Love your earrings. So they are the Christmas tree earrings. Sarah Payne was showing you these last week. I got them in every single color in my wardrobe, because depending on what you're wearing, you're gonna, I could have worn a red one with this one, because I got a red in the robin and the pudding, so I could have worn my red ones with today, but hey ho, maybe I put those on tomorrow, put the red ones on tomorrow. Right, goodbye everybody, have a lovely day. I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to be making the wreaths, Molly's creating the page and adding all the stuff to it on the website tomorrow, so make sure you tune in tomorrow. We're going to be making a little Christmas day. Have a great day everybody, and I see you soon. I'll be on Creation Station tonight at 7 p.m, so look out for that one as well. It will be on YouTube on Kitty Robinson Designs. Have a great day everybody. Bye.